graduated from the University of Utah's program, and she's going to kind of help us go over some hints about shopping in a grocery store and how to find the right foods.
So bread can be tricky because a lot of times it'll say like whole grains, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's whole grain. And that's the number one thing we want to look at when we're looking for a bread, is that it's 100% whole grain. So that means it has all three parts of the grain: the bran, the endosperm, and the germ. So this one, whole grain, 12 grain bread, right? Looks like it's great, but you do want to check the ingredient list and make sure that the only flour in there is whole. So you want to look for the word whole. This one makes it kind of easy because it says in bold whole wheat flour, which is great, so that we know it's mostly whole wheat flour. But then after that it says unbleached enriched wheat flour, which means what we think of usually as white flour. So it's a mix of whole grains and refined flour. So it wouldn't be the best choice. Not the worst choice, but not the best choice. But here's one, and the key is it says 100% whole wheat, so you can just know by looking at the front that it's 100% whole wheat. But we can also check the ingredient list, and the first ingredient is whole wheat flour, and then we go down and there's no other flours in there, so it's 100%. And then even better choice would be ones that are a little more simple. This one only has about 6 ingredients. It's just whole wheat flour, water, honey, salt, and yeast. So those are kind of nice too. We're here in the citrus department, if that's a department. But there is some tricks to picking out good citrus and getting the juiciest citrus, because those are always the best tasting. So it works for any citrus, but limes is particularly easy. What you're looking for is a real smooth, shiny surface, rather than kind of the dimply, not as shiny surface in this one. That just means there's going to be more juice in this one, in the smoother one, because it's kind of puffing it out. There's so much juice. You can tell the one that's not shiny is less juicy. So we're talking about yogurt and how much sugar can hide in yogurt. So it's really easy to get caught up and eat a lot of sugar if you're not paying attention. So we have 2 Chobanis here. One is plain and one is blueberry. So you can probably guess blueberry is going to be higher in sugar. And it is. We have to do a little math, so we did a little math for you, because a serving size here in the big one is 1 cup. The small one, the serving size is 3.5 ounces. So we did the math for you. If this were 8 ounces, it would have about 24 grams of sugar in it, compared to 6 grams in the plain. So some of that sugar in the blueberry is coming from blueberries, so not necessarily a bad thing, but a lot of it is also coming from evaporated cane juice, which is just sugar. So you do want to minimize that in your diet. Heard on the news, maybe you know, or in your class, 6 teaspoons is the max for women, 9 is the maximum recommended for men, and the average person gets about 22 teaspoons a day. So a teaspoon is 4 grams. But yeah, so the plain would always be a better choice because it's lower in sugar. But if you do want the fruit kind, you can still make a difference by choosing the right brand or flavor. So this Chobani had 24 grams of sugar, which is quite a bit. But even more would be this Tillamook huckleberry, which has 32 grams in this little 6-ounce cup. So this would be better, but it's good to watch the sugar. So for canned vegetables, it's good to look at the sodium because they can get really high in sodium, which is not good. So you want to reduce your sodium intake. So we have 2 cans of kidney beans, both Western family. The regular kidney beans have 450 milligrams of sodium in a half a cup, compared to the reduced sodium, which would be 200 milligrams. And it says it's 55% less sodium than the regular, so it does cut it in half. But it's still considerably higher than some other ones. So that would be a good option, but even better would be an option that has no salt added. Would be good too. So here's a brand that has no salt added, so it's going to have 15 milligrams of sodium, so virtually nothing. You'd probably end up adding some sodium when you're making those, but it would still probably be less than if you were just to get the regular kidney beans. But to be considered low sodium, foods have to have 140 milligrams of sodium or less per serving. So that's a good standard. Alright, so now we've talked about nutrition, but it's good to look at prices too, because, and it can be very easy. So all you want to do for a lot of like canned goods and things like that, they have on the tag, they have the whole price, so 69 cents, but then here they have the unit price, and usually it's per ounce. So this would be 5 cents per ounce, and that makes it really easy to compare across other cans or jars that might be different sizes. So this is 5 cents per ounce, the Western family. If we compare that to Libby's, you can just look, it's 10 for 10, but what does that mean? You can look at the unit price and it's 7 cents per ounce. So this comparison, the Western family would be a better buy, 2 cents less per ounce of beans. And then if you want a dramatic comparison, you can look at the Field Day organic green beans. And those are 14 cents per ounce. So obviously not the least expensive ones. But that makes it really easy to price compare.
So there's a few tips you can use next time you're at the grocery store. We'll see you next time.